Alright, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Alright, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this word of life. And Shalom, alright, peace and blessings, alright, to all you brothers out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, alright, and you good amount of sincere sisters out there. All right, obedient to your husbands. All right, and if you got a husband who is in the truth, all right, you got no business being here. All right, he should teach you. All right, that's out of order. All right. Anyways, what I wanted to go into was, there will be a so-called UFO invasion. All right, that's gonna happen. All right, that's in the scriptures. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, the prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shai-Gaionath. I definitely butchered that. Verse 2, O Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known, in wrath remember mercy. All right? And you'll see why Habakkuk said, in wrath remember mercy. All right? Because he saw a vision of these chariots, all right, coming and invading the world, all right, like it says in Matthew 24, all right, we'll get that in a sec, Lord willing, all right. Verse 3, the Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. Selah, his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise, all right. So what's his glory? Those chariots, all right. The chariots are going to cover the heavens, all right. And Yahweh Shai is going to come back in the biggest chariot, all right, leading the pack, all right. Now when the prophet Habakkuk saw this, he was like, he was terrified, all right. When he saw all these chariots, rolling up, all right, in the skies, covering the whole skies, all right. That's terrifying, all right. These big angelic vehicles, they're just moving on their own. They don't have a, they're terrible to look upon, they're terrifying, to see all those, chariots, flooding the whole sky. That's got to be, dreadful. All right. Yeah. And then verse 4, Salaki, I got a little distracted there. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. All right. And those horns are those rays and lasers. All right. And we can get a precept in Wisdom of Solomon, all right, Salakia, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 21, it says, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, and they shall fly to the mark. All right, that's speaking about the lasers coming out of these chariots. All right, that's the lasers. All right, so these chariots, they're gonna come, they're gonna flood the whole sky, and they're gonna have lasers. All right, directed energy. All right, coming out of them. All right, zapping people. All right, you think Esau came up with that on his own? No, he got it from the Bible. All right. A lot of these sci-fi movies are inspired by the Bible. All right, and the top wicked elite of Esau Edom, they know this. All right, they know what the Bible really says. All right. So that's what's going to happen. All right. These chariots that we're seeing, this is going to get violent. All right. This is not just going to be, they're going to keep showing up in the sky and people are going to, post it on TikTok. No, there's going to come a day when these things are going to get real low to the ground. All right. So much so that you can see them real close and personal, and they're going to deep fry people. All right. They're going to, they're going to burn people to a crisp. All right. They're going to, just dreadful, horrible judgment is going to come out of these ships, all right, as well as deliverance for the elect, all right. So let's get that. Matthew's 24. Let's see. Yep. Matthew's 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, which is Jacob's trouble, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, because, Yahushua is going to be doing a lot of killing, as well as, the angels, all right? And that's judgment, all right? That's righteous judgment, all right? That's not just being a psychopath, all right? Whoever perished being innocent, all right? He's bringing righteous judgment, all right? And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, UFOs, so-called, all right? With power and great glory, all right? So these are not no little weak, little white puffy clouds that Yahushua and the angels are going to be riding on. No, these are great, powerful vehicles, all right? And they have weapons on them, all right? And a lot of people are going to be slain by these weapons. Let's get that. Isaiah, I want to say it's 55. Bear with me, Baba Kusha. Isaiah 56, I think. Let's get slain of the Lord. Salakia. Isaiah 66 and 16, it says, "For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, plead with all flesh." And that word plead, all right, that means judge. We'll get that in a second, Lord willing, all right? "And the slain of the Lord shall be many," all right? Let's read up one verse, because it talks about the chariots, all right? Isaiah 66 and 15, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots," his UFOs, so-called, all right? "The Lord maketh the clouds his chariots," all right? "Like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire," all right? So the Lord is not coming back to give people lollipops and high fives and hugs and handshakes. No, all right? No, Yahushua is coming back to bring some serious judgment to the planet Earth, all right? And another word for judgment is justice, all right? And his elect, all right, Lord willing, we're a part of that, who have been suffering for righteousness' sake, all right, are going to get delivered, all right? That's going to be justice as well, all right? They're going to be avenged, all right? Let's get that word plead, all right? "For behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will come with fire, whirlwind." Salakia. Wrong verse. All right, plead. All right, this is the Strong's H8199. All right, that word is shapat. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, shapat, and it means to judge, govern, vindicate, punish. All right. So the Lord is not gonna, the great and terrible Yahweh is not gonna come down here and plead people to get right. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not begging anybody to get right. All right, that word plead, that means judge. All right. So these UFOs, so-called, are gonna come down here, and they're gonna bring a lot of death. All right, they're not just gonna do shows in the sky. All right, and don't get me wrong, we love it when we see that. We're greatly encouraged and motivated and comforted, all right, when we see signs like that, when the Lord, encourages us by sending one of his angels to, make an appearance in the sky, for us, because that's why, the angels are showing up, when you brothers, when you see a chariot, all right, you look at the chariot and it once you see it, it like darts off, that's an angel being like, basically being like, what up, and it's very encouraging, let's get some more scriptures. Maketh the clouds his chariot. Let's get that. Psalms 104 and 3. We could start at verse 1. It says, "Bless the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, O my soul, O Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters." Here's the point. "Who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." All right. So one thing you got to understand is the Bible is written in code, all right? So the scriptures are not going to come out and say so-called UFOs, all right? Disc-shaped objects, all right, are going to, no, all right? Now, I believe it was Zechariah described a flying roll, all right? The length thereof is however many cubits, all right? The breadth thereof is, however many cubits, he said, all right? But the Bible is written in code, all right? Because not everybody's supposed to get it, all right? So when you see clouds, all right, that clouds is talking about the chariots, all right? What are the chariots? The so-called UFOs, all right? But it's coded language, all right? Because not everybody is supposed to get it, all right? The Lord needs to bless you with the eye salve, all right? Isaiah 6:9, it says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not, all right? Because we can tell Jake that he's an Israelite. We could tell Jake that, slavery was in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, all right? We could tell Jake that America is Babylon the Great, all right? That John the Revelator said that he saw hail falling down and those were really nuclear missiles, all right? We could say all that to Jake, but if the Lord doesn't want him to get it, he's not going to get it, all right? And it's the same deal with the chariots, all right? Verse 10, make the heart of this people fat and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, or their mind, their inward man, and convert and be healed, all right? Because the Lord doesn't want to save everybody right now, all right? He's only looking for the elect, all right? So that's why certain people can't get it, all right? Yeah, so that's all I really had on that. These UFOs, so-called UFOs, are chariots of the Lord, all right? And you have angels riding around in them, which are so-called black men, all right? Very strong. You see the angel that showed up at the GMS Los Angeles Brothers camp, all right? That's what the angels look like, all right? So anyways, I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, or Kaha Kwadash. Shalom.